streets of Ramallah, they not only had Lebanese and Palestinian flags, they had Venezuelan flags. They had posters of Che Guevara as well as Hugo Chavez. And the newspapers, the Arab newspapers were saying, how is it that this non-Muslim, this non-Arab person has come along and got such huge popularity? Because people were saying if there was an election today, this is the man that we would elect as our leader. But I tell you why. Because people in the Middle East, like the people of Latin America, know the brutal reality of imperialism. Because what's going on today in Iraq, or the new threats that we keep hearing about Iran, well, Latin Americans have been through all of this. They've had the intervention of the CIA and the US. Because it wasn't only a few decades ago that in Iran, a democratic, progressive government was elected, that of President Mosaddegh. In 1953, the CIA ensured that it was overthrown, and we know what we saw next. And we keep hearing about 9/11. Yes, a tragic event, 9th of September 2001. But exploiting that to unleash this war of terror, they call it a war on terror, but for most people know it as a war of terror. But the people in Latin America know about another 9th of September, that of September 1973, when the government of Allende was overthrown in a barbaric coup. And they talk about democracy. Well, of course, the last thing the imperialists want is democracy. When they talk about exporting democracy, what we say is, stop trying to prevent democracy. Because every attempt of genuine liberation, self-empowerment, social justice, you can bet that they will come in and crush it. And they do it shamelessly. We've had military dictatorship after military dictatorship in Latin America, whether it's Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Peru. And this threat they see in Venezuela is simply because people are standing up and saying no. And they are doing it for themselves. And you can't argue with the election results. So that's why we have to have this constant propaganda against Venezuela that we've been hearing about today. And in the Middle East as well. They know they're on their knees. Of course they went in arrogant. They thought Iraq, as a country that they'd ensured that was weakened with years of sanctions, they thought we're going to go in and take it, and that's it. The multinationals take over, profits to us, done deal. They have been shocked at the resistance of ordinary people. And I and her husband, his doctor, flew over to help some victims. When they came back to hold us about the Cuban doctors there, about how without any wage, they went immediately. They went to places where the larger aid agencies didn't go. And unlike those larger aid agencies, they didn't just come back after the first few weeks. They stayed on months and months. And the Pakistani people said to them, why are you doing this? How is it that you're staying with us in this time and you're sacrificing, you're leaving your families? And the simple response was this: because we consider you to be our brothers and sisters. It is this humanity, this dignity, this liberation, which is so hateful and such a threat to the imperialist masters, that it is this humanity and this dignity which we must hold on to. And in that spirit, I congratulate the organisers of this conference and ask each and every one of us to take the inspiring messages that we've heard and, having distilled it right away from all the economic military impact, come back to this humanity that we're all struggling and fighting for. Thank you very much.